What's up, hunters and Halloween enthusiasts? Today we're going to be looking at the Spirit Halloween 2014 Lurching Zombie. This is the only animatronic I don't have the original box for, and he's also missing a shoe, so I have a little Nike shoe for him, well, both of them. Alright, but here's his head. I want to have you get a good look at that because I always miss the camera. But there's his head. Mechanism, base, pants, hip loops, and shoulder loops, leg poles, foot, hands, shirt with motion sensor, arms, adapter, and tie. I have all the parts laid out here and the shoe. Alright, so the first thing you do is you just attach the leg poles to the base. It doesn't matter which ones are first, they're all labeled B, they're all the same size. So put two of them on, and then now would be a great time to put the shoe on, or the foot. Alright, and now I don't have his boot, so I kind of just use a shoe, and I'll show you what I do with it in a second. But other poles go on now. Then after these, you'll put the pants on. And then what I kind of do is I give the illusion that he's wearing pants and it's like covering his shoe, so it looks like his foot's going in there. But if you have the boot, then you don't have to go through all this. Now you can go ahead and put the mechanism on. Make sure that snaps into place, and the long metal pole is in the back, alright? So there are a bunch of loops and holes for these little hip loops and shoulder things to go on. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. This one has two little poles on them, a smaller one and then a larger one, and this just goes around the mech, and make sure they're going into the holes that fit, because there's a small one and a big one. Alright? And now this one has a weird shape to it where it's just a pole leading out and then two other poles coming off of it. And there's a hole in the front where this would fit. And it's kind of a challenge trying to get over here, and I put it the wrong way. Not that difficult, I swear. Alright. And then there's one for the shoulders. And again, there's a small one and a large one, and they go into their respective holes. So now you can go ahead and put the head on. It's probably going to be most easy now because you can see everything and plug it in. And make sure you connect red to red and black to black, alright? Don't mix those up. I don't know if it would start a fire, but I wouldn't risk it. Now, what I like to do is I like to get him dressed at this point, put his shirt on, because it's actually easier to do this first and then the arms. So there's his shirt. Let's put his arms on now, and then we can adjust how it looks. So you'll know which arm each arm goes on because of the way that these poles are facing. So this one would go on his right hand because it just makes more sense. So put these arms in through the sleeves. This is how I find it most easy. You don't technically have to do this. You could put the shirt, but I think it's better this way. Right? And the other one goes the other way, so it'd be on that arm. his left arm, L for left. And now you can put his respected hands onto each arm. So thumbs facing inward, alright? And there's some Velcro that you can attach so the sleeve doesn't come off. Alright, and this little blue wire right here, make sure you connect it to the other wire right here. This is the sensor, so you want to make sure that's in or else it's not going to work. And then there's some Velcro here so you can put the shirt on. Alright, now I can adjust his shirt however I like. And while I'm at it, I'm going to plug his adapter in. I should have did this earlier. Now you can go ahead and pull his pants up. There are actually two Velcro things in the back, one in the back, one in the front, that you can Velcro around the hip loop, and that's going to keep the pants on. So, because otherwise they will not stay on. All right, make sure the sensor's out, facing the front. And there's still one more step, his tie, because the front of his shirt is a little silly looking. So now this is the one, usually I'm a little lenient towards how their collars look, because they're zombies, they're supposed to be messy, but this guy's a tie, so it actually makes sense for him to not have his collar popping out. I mean, maybe. You could probably make it look however you want it to look. Yeah, see, I think he looks best like that. And then you don't actually have to tie it like a tie. No one's going to see the back, so you can just tie it like how you tie your shoes or something. And there he is. Alright, so that was the setup for the Spirit Halloween Lurching Zombie. And I have a lot to say about this guy. As you may notice, his hands and face have this green spray paint on them. The Mercari seller that I got it from said the previous owner before him did that. And also he was missing his shoe, which we already established. But I can get over it. As you see, I can play around with that, and gave him my own shoe. And also when I got him, he lunged, but he didn't go all the way back. And if you look at my old videos of his demo, you could see that. I had to manually push him back. But this guy is one of my top animatronics, and I'm proud of him because I actually fixed him. I went in there, opened him up, I put a new gear in there, and then at first, I guess I set it up backwards, and he started lunging backwards. And so I opened up again, I spun the arm around, and then he started lunging normally, but he wasn't lunging as far as he used to be. So now I'm like, what's the problem? So literally yesterday, before I decided to do this video, I went in, opened him up again, and put a bunch of grease in there. I could show you what I used actually. It's electronic grease. You could get it off Amazon. White lithium grease. That's the stuff that they put in there, that the manufacturers put in there. So, or at least I think it is. But it's used for electronics, so I put some of that in there with a Q-tip and then put them back together, and then I tried him and he didn't work at all. So then, but I let him go for 3 more times, and then he started lunging, and I was like, I guess he had to reset his relay switch. I don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to this, but I'm really proud that I did that. So that's the background of this prop. Now let's talk about him. Look at this. All right, at first I wasn't a big fan, but seeing it in person, his face is really good. All right, even with the green stains on it, there's a lot of detail there. He's latex. One thing I guess I'd complain about is this shirt. I actually managed to make it look good, but there's still a big opening, and the tie kind of blocks it. It's looked worse than this before. And also it's really thin, so you could see through it if you look close enough. But other than that, look at him, bro. He's great. I'm around 6'3", and he's like an inch or two shorter than me, so he's really tall. He's gonna get people, and he looks really good. I think he's one of the top zombie props with the Flesh Eater Zombie. I mean, he looks great. I have no complaints about his design, how he looks. Just maybe the shirt. And the motion sensor is really obvious too. Like, there's that black dot. I've never seen one that big. That's actually crazy. But other than that, I think I said it all that needs to be said. So I'll get into his demo now. So yeah, that's the Flesh Eater Zombie. He's a really cool zombie prop from Old Spirit. Probably one of my top 3, top 2 maybe. He's up there. And other than that, everything was said that had to be said. This is Nightmare Refuel, signing out.